Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena. I'm homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on the channel, we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking, all the things in between. Today, I'm going to talk about my goal of not looking like a marshmallow this winter. So it seems like a simple enough goal, but now that we've moved to a place that has an actual winter, and I get it, if you live in much colder places, you probably don't think this is an actual winter. But we came from Southern California, and there's just like two kinds of weather there. There's either hot or very hot. Maybe sometimes in the dead of winter, it's like lukewarm. That's really all we get. So I had no idea what real cold was. Now that we live in a place that snows and gets all the seasons, sometimes all in one day, I had to really rethink my wardrobe and rethink how I dressed. So this will only be, I think, our second full winter. This will be our third winter out here. So our first one was mild. That's the word that we got, that it was actually a mild winter. And then last year was a little bit more, we got a little bit more snow, but I really figured out that I did not have the wardrobe to dress for winter. So the last 2 seasons, what I've done is just layered on as many layers as possible. And that's why I felt like I just was this giant marshmallow walking around, because anytime I had to leave the house, I would put on all the clothes basically that I owned to stay warm enough. Now, that's how you're gonna know I'm not a native to this area, because other people were like still walking around in shorts, and my little brain was like, it is 32 degrees. Why are we wearing shorts? This is not shorts weather. But I digress. I was cold and I needed to dress warmer. I just didn't have the budget to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. So I did buy a couple of sweaters and things like that. This year I thought I would go into it first. And first I thought I would create a capsule wardrobe, but I don't think I could really say that this is a capsule wardrobe, because I'm gonna kind of pick and choose, and I'm not having any clothes in my closet that are like limits, or I'm not limiting myself to only a certain number of things. I will say one summer I did create a capsule wardrobe, and I really loved that one less decision to make. But I'm just at this point trying to not walk around with 25 layers on, feeling like I have 25 layers on. I just want to stay warm, and then maybe one day we'll get to the point where I can have a winter capsule wardrobe as well. But let me take you through the steps that I'm going through to create a winter wardrobe. I don't know what we're calling this, anti-marshmallow wardrobe. I don't know. Let me take you through a couple of steps that I did, or rather am doing, to kind of prepare for the winter. So the first thing I did was go to YouTube and watch a couple of videos on how people were still layering and feeling somewhat stylish and staying warm. In my younger days, I probably wouldn't have minded being cold for the sake of fashion, but these days I still want comfort and I want to be warm. And then there's the marshmallow thing I keep bringing up. Count how many times I can say the word marshmallow in this video and then leave your guess down below. But I will try to find the videos, or at least the ones I felt were most helpful to me, and link those down below for you in case you want to check them out for yourself. There was one in particular that I really found helpful and kind of was the kickoff point to get the ball rolling on this little project. The other thing that I did was search Pinterest and go through and just put in like winter capsule wardrobe. And I kind of looked for pieces that could be used multiple ways, because like I said, it's not in my budget to buy a whole bunch of new clothes and like a brand new wardrobe. I just don't have that budget. So I went on to Pinterest and made myself a new Pinterest board and just pinned a couple of capsule wardrobes that I felt would be helpful to me. Then I took the capsule wardrobes, I printed them out to fit into my planner wallet. I have a little setup video. I will link that in case you want to see that. But I printed it out and I put it in my planner wallet and took it with me to the thrift store after I did one more thing. Okay, the lighting in here is not the best for filming, but we're in my closet. So I came and I took a look at the clothes that I already had, and I started with my jackets because I felt like thrifting jackets might be the easiest way or the least expensive way to get some good quality jackets. And so I came in to see what I already had. And funny enough, one of my favorite jackets is, it looks like a giant marshmallow when I wear it. But I came in to take a look at some staple pieces that I had, and I found that I had some really great pieces already here in my closet. So I have this pink trench coat style. It's got, see if I can get as much of it into the, it's got the double button look, and then just, you know, the ties, and it has a little flare to it down at the bottom. But there isn't a liner in here. It really is more of just a raincoat type of thing. It wouldn't keep me extremely warm, and it is a little bit snugger. It is from like a juniors department type thing, so it doesn't leave much room for my body frame. So it does fit, but I couldn't put like a thicker sweater underneath and then put this on top. So while very cute, and I am going to keep it, this would be more for spring, not our full-on fall and winter. I did, however, find that I had pea coats in the basic colors that I needed. I didn't even realize that I had so many of them. So I have a black, a gray, a navy, and I even have a beige one. So all your basic colors that you could even need. My first pea coat was this navy, dark navy blue one, and it has a zipper. And it is actually, it was thrifted, and it is from the Army Navy store. As you can see, I had to cuff the sleeve at one point because it is a little bit bigger for me. But this I thrifted from the Army Navy store, and this was my very first pea coat, I believe, that I purchased for myself. I think after I purchased that, parents were like, you know, they make new ones too. And they bought me in my younger years this really gorgeous beige one that needs to be sent to the dry cleaners, and then a black one in the same brand style. So I have 2 more pea coats. I really should bring you out into better light. Okay, so hopefully this is a little bit better light. This is a gray coat that is similar, I think, in style to a pea coat, and this one is really special to me. It is a little bit different style, but this one was actually gifted to me after my aunt passed away. This jacket belonged to my great aunt, and like I said, it's really near and dear to me, so I am so grateful to have that little piece of her. It is also very functional for me. So as you can see, the style of this is a little bit different. The sleeves have a little bit of a more puff to it, and then I don't know if I can get you or get me in a spot where you can see the whole coat. And then, as you can tell, it has pockets, which makes everything better, but I would expect pockets in a coat. But it also fits over a sweater. So today I am just at home, and this is not part of the winter wardrobe. This is my at-home stuff. But I just wanted to show the jacket on so you could see that this one is a slightly different style, but still great to have all these jackets in all these neutral colors. Now, if you don't have jackets in every single neutral color, you don't have to run out and buy any. If you want to, though, I would encourage you to check the thrift store because there are some great jackets there. But that was the first thing I checked because it was a bigger ticket item. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that I had my jackets covered. I also went through and tried to find layering, the basic layering pieces. So like thermal pieces, if I had any of those, because those were one of the things we did have to purchase our first winter here. So things like thermals, and the thermals that they're selling now, this has a bunch of lint all over it. I must have wore it under a darker sweater. But the thermals that they have now, they are so thin. They're great for layering, but they also keep in that warmth from it. This brand, 32 degrees. This one is, we've seen a ton of this brand when we went to purchase it, but like I said, these are great for layering because they are thinner. They don't take up a bunch of room. I can remember when I was younger and we'd visit the snow that the layering pieces were like waffle material and much, much thicker. I went to check to see how many pieces I had and if I still had them or somehow I had lost them in our move or something like that. So I do have a couple of, so I do have a base layering outfit, so like a top and the bottoms to put underneath my clothes. so that when I am just wearing jeans or something like that, I can layer it with one of these thermals underneath. Or if I do just want to start layering, it's not as bulky. The next thing I did was check out the long sleeve materials that I had, so sweatshirts or t-shirts in long sleeves, and that's where I found that I was a little bit lacking more in. I didn't have very many long sleeve things, and I think this is why I was wearing so many layers of clothing, because my arms were getting really cold, or I'd have a jacket on like inside the house because I wasn't even layering properly. We do have a heater, but I tend to run the coldest in my family, and so I don't want to have it, you know, spiked really high and everybody else is sweating. So that's when I headed over to the thrift store. I wanted to check to see what I was missing, and then since I had jackets in neutral colors, I thought I should stick to maybe more of those neutral colors. So the gray, the navies, that kind of stuff. This is all an experiment. I don't know how well this is going to go for me. Come along and find out. But and then I checked my jeans situation to see if I had enough jeans for the winters. I wanted to add that to the list of things to be on the lookout for when we went to the thrift store. So I made my little list of things to be on the lookout for at the thrift store, and then I headed there. So one of the things I'm going to try when I'm looking for pants is I went ahead and I measured the waistband of a pair of pants that fit me well. They fit me. I think it could just also to be the brand. This is Access, a Liz Claiborne company. But these have fit me through days when I'm bloated and days when I'm not. So I went ahead and measured the waistband so that on one side here, so that I could do that when we go to the thrift store in case I see any other pairs of pants that I want to get. If you know clothing size at all, especially in women's clothes, it feels like the size on the tag is not necessarily your size. I've had jeans be the exact same brand, and my like size 11s are smaller than my size 9s. So it is what it is. It's just better, I think, now if I measure it, especially thrift store wise, because bands are stretched out and you get a ton of different brands, brand names there, some that you've never recognized. So I just wanted to go ahead and try this out and see if I found some to go ahead and put a measure on it, because not all the thrift stores have dressing rooms open again, and so some just are never going to open them again, and so that was just a little hack I think I hope will work. I had hoped that I was going to be able to go to the thrift store and try on things, but sometimes with kids that's just not possible. So I didn't make a trip out to the thrift store alone, specifically for shopping for me. But one, if you can go out shopping alone, you should absolutely take that opportunity. So, and two, if you don't have to shop thrift stores. I just was trying to be as budget friendly as I could with this project. So I did find a couple of things that I will share with you that I found at the thrift. So I found again that 32 degrees heat. This sweater has a little bit longer back than in the front, just slightly, as you can see there, and then it has like a waffle type, just barely design here, and it is more of a sweatshirt material on the inside. So I thought this would also make a really great layering piece. That's the inside of it. So I thought this would make a really great layering piece as well, or it would be cute enough just to wear, you know, with the thermal underneath and this on top for the days that aren't too cold. I found another gray sweater that was a little bit more dressier. It's got some kind of sparkle to it and a different cut. And it is not as thick as the other one. So this one for sure was one that's gonna have to be layered, but this one I was thinking would still work out well. I could layer it with one of the basic layering pieces, like I said, one of the thermal type things, and then this, and then a coat over it and not overheat. We'll see what we end up piecing together. I am hoping to put a video together of like a week's worth of outfits or something like that using the pieces, and my anti-marshmallow hope for the season, but let's see how much we can get done. And then I did find a pair of pants. I found a pair of Banana Republic pants, and so they were really inexpensive. I will try to be listing the prices up for you for the items, but I found a pair. They ended up not being my favorite. I ended up finding two pair, a pair that fit more like capris and then longer ones. They ended up not being my favorite most flattering, but they are comfy and I can layer under them. So I'm gonna try to make it work for a little while, and if I just find that I am not reaching for them and not using them, we'll pass them on and donate them to somebody else, because there's no sense in having clothes that don't make me feel good in my closet. Also had a navy blue sweatshirt, but I think it's in the wash. So it clearly has worked out because I've already worn it. I also already wore the gray waffle one too, so that's worked out. Last thing that I wanted to do was check on accessories, and I don't have like a ton of accessorizing. I did look for a couple of scarves. I only have like a baby pink one that a dear friend made me. Actually, that is my only scarf that I have. So I did look for scarves, but I didn't find any that really called to me that I really liked. And then, like I said, I was with kids, so I was really limited on my time. But I did find some shoes that I think will be helpful for the winter. Just some basic black boots here that are waterproof. So that was the thing. I did have longer boots, like knee-high boots, but they are like a fake suede material that I also thrifted, but they are not waterproof. So the days that it rains or it snows, I can't wear them. And I did search the thrift store for some that I liked that were waterproof, but I couldn't find any this time around. But I figured these smaller booties would work. Like I said, they are waterproof, and they just have a zip on the inside here, but they have like warmth inside as well. So we picked these up. There is a small scuff mark on one of them here on the inside of the toe, but it's like on the inside of it. And if you're looking that close at my feet, then I mean, who are you? Why are you staring at my feet that closely? So we grabbed these. Again, I'll list the price for you. And that's it. This is the start of my hope to not be a marshmallow season. I don't know if you can come up with a catchier phrase. Let me know it down below, because I can't think of anything what I'm calling this. But really, truly, that's my only goal. I also want to be sure that today is such a bad example of it, because I am very much inside casual clothes, hope nobody rings my doorbell type of thing. But I want to dress less that way and be sure that even though it's winter, that I'm getting dressed for the day, because I think that would help beat the winter blues as well. So I do have another video coming out talking about things that I'm doing to help beat the winter blues. So if you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss that. And if you haven't liked this video, please do. It helps the channel so much, especially if you liked it. Give me a thumbs up so I know that you do. And then just looking forward to seeing how we piece these things together. Yes, we're in my pantry, but because my pantry is also my laundry room, so some of my more delicate clothes I hang up in here. And the dryer is on because we're doing laundry. So if you're curious where this little handy drying rack is from, it is from IKEA. I will try to link it for you down below. But it folds up like really teeny tiny. I can show you. So it folds up super thin, and I just store it next to my dryer when it's not in use. And then when I need to dry, I unfold it and put it in here. And then my kids get upset because they can't reach the snacks. But you know, it is what it is. The last place we were at, when I was like drying towels and things like this, they would use it as a fort and climb underneath my clean clothes. Multi-purpose tool. You want this in your life. Okay, so here's the navy blue sweater. It is inside out and it is sopping wet. And as you can see, I had some kind of paper in the wash and it got all over my clothes, so it'll come off when we hang it to dry. Most of my clothes, just a little, I don't know if you care for a laundry tip, but I wash most of my clothes in cold and on a casual or delicate cycle, and then I line dry them just to make them last a little bit longer. And I have clothes, I also don't shop for clothes for myself very often, but I have clothes that are as old as some of my kids. So just for reference, my oldest is 15, my youngest is 9. So I have clothes that are, yeah, I actually have some from when my oldest, I was pregnant with him. So it lasts quite a while if you take care of your clothes that way. I can't promise they'll stay in style. Maybe like me and just not care. And then another item that I purchased that I didn't mention was this black vest, which is also wet because I just washed it. But this is, again, apparently is just my brand for the winter, that 32 degrees heat. I purchased this from Costco. It was $10 on sale. So I thought it was a pretty decent find, and I picked this up as well. So in case I haven't mentioned, the other thing that I did was laundry to see what I had instead of just going into my closet because I knew I didn't have all my clothes clean. So I did laundry too, to kind of gather and see what I already had, so I just didn't run out and buy more stuff that I could already make use of. If you live in a cold region that has seasons, let me know how you get through winter, layering and doing all the things, or if you're just like, no, I am good looking like a giant marshmallow, or you're just blessed to be able to wear 25 layers and not look like a marshmallow. That's totally awesome. So thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you don't know, or maybe you just need to be reminded, maybe the one to tell you, you are deeply and truly loved and so, so appreciated. I truly, truly appreciate you taking time out of your day and spending it here with me.